If you are looking to make this high-low crop top with suspended pockets, watch this video to the end. You are going to be able to make it at the end of this video. But first, let me start by introducing myself. Hi, my name is Lilian of Lilian Fashion Lounge, and I talk about everything fashion, pattern drafting. I teach online and physical tutoring and many more. So let's get started. So this is the material that we're going to be using for this high-low crop top, and you're going to be needing at least 1.5 inches or 2 inches, one and a half yard or 2 yards, depending on the on how wide or how long you want your crop top to be. So the first thing I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be folding this into two. Now one part is going to be longer than one part, so the longer one is going to serve as our back and the shorter one is going to serve as our front. So for this I used 20 inches for this, for the front of the front of the crop top, while the back was around 27 or so inches. So after folding it like this, I went ahead to start measuring my length just to confirm. So for the back I did not want it to be too long, so I went ahead to measure 6 inches. So after measuring 26 inches, I added the folding allowance, making it 27 inches. So after measuring it that way, I went ahead to cut it out. So after cutting it out, the next thing I'm going to be doing is to measure my shoulder. Now my shoulder is 17 inches. So I'm going to go ahead and add, my shoulder is 15 inches. So I'm going to go ahead and add extra 1 inch, which is going to make it 16 inches. So 16 divided by 2 will give us 8 inches. So after measuring that, I went ahead to measure the remaining part of the material as my sleeve. Then after doing that, my center front I measured 1.5 inches and I drew it with my ruler, and I connected it to the neckline. The neckline is 3.5 inches for the width and 5 inches for the length. So after doing that, I measured 0.5 inches for the center back and I cut it out, as you can see me do here. So after cutting it out, I went ahead to cut my the side for the Ankara fabric. I cut out the side, as you can see here. Then I went ahead to cut the front, because we are going to be using the neck band for the front. So I went ahead to cut it out so that I can use it to create a band for the front. So I placed it on another fabric. As you can see here, I placed another fabric. Then I measured the length. I'm using the length I got from there. I used it to measure another length. Now when you want to measure it, it's always preferable to add enough allowance, because of the neckline. The neckline is unpredictable, so it's advisable to add extra allowance. So for this one, the initial length for the one I cut was 17 inches. So I measured 24 inches plus the back and the around the neck. So I measured 24 to 25 inches. Then I went ahead to cut 3 inches on fold. I cut 3 inches on fold. Now if you have enough fabric, you can decide to cut it here. You can decide to cut it the length on how long you want it to be. But for this one, I joined it at the length. I cut it here, then I joined it. So which means 22 inches for each side. That was how I got it. 22 inches for each side. So as you can see, I measured 3 inches length, then I went ahead to cut it out. So as you can see here, I'm dividing it by 2. That was what I meant. So after dividing it by 2, I took it to my machine, then I joined it together. I joined it at the edge together to give it one, to make it one. But if you don't want it to have any joining, you can cut it the length. Don't forget that at first I cut out the length because I wanted to get the other pockets too. So after doing that, the next thing I'm going to be doing is to measure the length of the pocket that I want to use. So I'm going to go ahead and cut out my pocket as seen here. So while cutting, you can decide on how wide you want your pocket to be, but I made mine I think 10 inches wide. I cannot remember the width. So I cut 2 of this. That was for the 2 pockets. I cut 2 of this. So after I've joined it, I went ahead to iron it. I already folded it, then I ironed it. So after ironing it, I'm going to place it on the front of my fabric of my crop top. Then I'm going to measure it out to see if it is going to be enough. So as you can see, thankfully it was enough. I would advise that you take more instead of using the 22 inches, you can use 30 inches depending on the length. If the front of your crop top is 20, you can use 30 or 32. If the front of your crop top is 17, you can use 25 for the band, the neck band. So after doing that, I went ahead to open it up, the 2. I measured the neckline, then I measured it to the length I want it to be, the depth. I measured it to the depth where I want the depth to stop. Then I went ahead to pin it down, as you can see here. So this is going to indicate where the sewing is going to start. So I took it to my machine and I sewed it on the center of the band. After sewing it, I opened it up, and I'm going to be using my pin to pin it to the front. Now before I do that, the first thing I'm going to be doing is to mark the center back, because that is where the band is going to be starting from. That's why I'm going to start with the pinning. So I'm going to place it. Don't forget that I ironed it. I ironed the band I folded 1/2 inch in, then I ironed the center to make it neat. So if you want to go ahead to do this, make sure that there is light, or you have your coal iron. So I'm going to go ahead and start placing the band from the center back right to the front. I would like to inform you that registration is going on for our basic, intermediate and advanced classes. So if you are interested in upgrading your fashion skill, or you want to know more about fashion, or you want to learn fashion design, you can send me a message to make more inquiries on the WhatsApp number I'm going to be dropping in the comments. So after sewing it, as you can see how neat it is, I went ahead to iron. Then after ironing, I'm going to go ahead to fold the sleeve and the hem. So the first one I'm going to be folding is the sleeve. So I'm going to be folding it on 1.5 inches. So I'm going to first of all fold 1/2 inch, then I'm going to fold the remaining 1 inch. I'm going to do the same thing for the hem, for both the front and the back. So after doing that, the next thing I'm going to be doing is to sew the extended pockets. In order for the pockets to be able to be laid well, I'm going to first of all place them to know if they are long enough to fit the back, because I want it to align with the back. So after making sure it's going to align with the back, I'm going to go ahead and start with the sewing of the pockets. So as you can see here, I'm folding my pocket on 1.5 inches. Then I'm going to sew the side on 1/2 inch and the lower part too on 1/2 inch. So I'm going to do it for the two, then I'm going to bring it back to show you guys. So after sewing, I'm going to be placing it, as you can see, then I'm going to be sewing it on the edge of the pockets. Don't forget that you're only sewing it at the front, only the center, only the front of the crop top that you're going to be sewing it on. So you're going to be sewing it on both sides at the edge. So I'm going to be using my pin to hold it down, then I'll take it to my sewing machine and sew it as seen. So after sewing it, the next thing I'm going to be doing is to sew the side. So the side, I'm going to be sewing it on 1 inch. So after sewing it on 1 inch, the back, don't forget that the front is longer than the back. So I sewed it to the back, where the front stops. So for the back, I'll just continue folding. I'll fold the back, as you can see here. I'm going to fold the back, as you can see. So this is where we're going to be ending this video. If you have any questions for me, please leave it in the comment section. I'm going to make sure that I reply your comments. Thank you guys for watching. See you guys in the next one. Bye.